everybody, what's going on? So welcome back to the channel, and today we have a build video or a build up video basically on the Tamiya M16 multi-purpose or multi-gun, I should say, half-track. This is basically a half-track that carries four, I think it's 50 cals, yeah, 450 cal guns. And we got it pretty much all ready for paint at this moment in time. I got it all literally most of it assembled. Obviously that's some minor details here and there off so I can paint them separately for a different color, but majority of this vehicle is going to be olive drab, which is pretty cool. So all the olive drab parts, like I said, is mainly on tacked and it looks really good. Again, it is a typical Tamaya kit. Everything just fits together super well and it just looks amazing. All the detail is just so accurate. So of course, I left the tracks off so we can easily detail paint that. I'm gonna take off the front wheels. I just put those on just to have it mocked up. The front bumper is not intact yet either. It's kind of loose fit on there, so we can take that right out so we can paint that as well. Because I think I am gonna plan on taking out the chassis so I can paint that as well. Make it a little bit easier to paint in there. And also the gun is removable, so that can twist off and then that can come off as well. But the detail on this thing is just remarkable. It looks absolutely really well built, and Tamaya did an absolutely amazing job for this. And of course, we left the seat that goes in there off because the back of the seat is the same color as a truck. But of course I want to paint the cushion in like the lighter green as they usually are. So I've left the seat out, but other than that, this is majority done. Of course the guns are separate as well, so we can paint those in like a gunmetal or black, whatever we want to do. And of course we have our truck here. It looks really good. These wheels are not intact. They're just on there so I can paint them and stuff. These wheels do still spin, so I can easily detail paint the rubber that's on the bottom of those. And then we do have front post steering wheels as well, which is really fantastic. And the detail in this kit is just wonderful. So really nice detailed kit from Tamaya. And of course we are going to take that off. So we're going to paint the truck body as is, and then we're going to go ahead and paint the chassis so we can get all the way around. Again, the chassis is all off draft because military, you know, they painted it all one unit. So we're going to paint all this in the same color. And the wheels, of course, the tires we're going to take off, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and get to painting. Of course, I am going to use the Tamaya paints. We are going to be using first off, for the base coat, we are going to be using the Tamaya Needle Black. This is going to be for the shadow coats. Basically get into the wheels, basically where all the dark shadows will be. And then of course, once we're done with the Needle Black, we're going to go ahead and shoot the highlights with just flat white XF2 for the Tamaya. And we're basically just going to do the highlights where the parts aren't so shadowed. Basically the highlights of the vehicle. So we're going to do the Needle Black first. That's going to be basically our primer / undercoat stage. And then again, we're going to do the white, and then of course we're on top of that we're going to do the olive drab, and that is those two colors, the black and the white, is going to have the nice tone texture between the Needle Black with the highlights and the shadow coats. So let's go ahead and do that, and let's see how that looks. And here is the final product of the M16 from Tamaya. And like I said, this kit is amazing. As typical as Tamaya kit, this thing went together super well. Everything just fit together very well and just no fitment issue whatsoever. The kit just falls together as typical Tamaya. So this particular version that I did for mine is I wanted to look like it was heavily used in more towards summertime, because World War II, where they were using these vehicles, they were down south and there's a lot of snow and stuff. I was going to do a snow version, but I was like, I kind of want to do one that's kind of heavily used in the mud, which a lot of these were actually used in the mud because they usually go into barriers or pits, you want to call it, and park down in there. So that way the aircrafts can't really see them when they're shooting at them, because that's what this vehicle is used for, to shoot down prop planes back in the day, and not really used for much anything else, but just shooting down planes. So they had to hide themselves very well. So we went ahead and put on a bunch of like branches and stuff, anything they can find. They'll just spread it onto the vehicle, because well, a lot of times they're just sitting in one area and just waiting for the planes to come to them. So they're not really going out to find the planes or anything like that. I mean, yeah, they'll move here and there once in a while, but a lot of times they'll wait for the planes to come to them and all that good stuff. So they want to hide themselves quite a bit if they're going to be sitting into one area for multiple hours and hours of each day. So they'll hide themselves. Of course, we did tons of pigments from MIG and AK. Mega, we did a lot of their streak and grime. That's why you see all the white and grimy stuff in here, because like I mentioned, these vehicles were used in the snow, so there's a lot of snow. There's cold summertime. This vehicle is getting a lot of weathering on it because of the nature and stuff. So tons of fading onto the paint job. In mud, we use tons of mud pigments and basically mud, what do you call it, like actual mud from MIG, Mega. We use their thick, heavy mud. We use tons of mud pigments. We actually use light mud and dark mud to get that dry or that textured look to it and all that awesome stuff. Of course, we use some AK. This is their wet mud on the wheels and on the tracks, because well, I did make a diorama for this and we did all that, so it's actually used in the mud. The mud flaps on the other side are pretty thick, full of mud. And another thing I want to mention is I did tons of 3D printed parts on this particular vehicle. Some tarps I did 3D printing. There's some ammo boxes in the interior. I did some 3D printing. Also, there's binoculars in there as well to look for the aircrafts coming for them. That's also 3D printed. Another thing that's 3D printed is also the jerry cans. The kit does come with jerry cans that goes on the side, but of course there are multiple pieces and you're gonna have a seam line, so I didn't feel like dealing with the seam line, so I just put in my own. There are some bags that are on the side of the vehicle 3D printed, some actual World War II bags. And then all the cargo that is in the front, basically on the front bumper, such as the boxes, the ammo crates and stuff, those are all 3D printed up there. And then of course we tied them all down with some rope tie I found at like a dollar store. And then there's some rusty chain in the front that's actually from AK, from a hobby shop, and that just suits it very well for some towing chain. And also on the guns, the 50 cal guns, on the front end, I went ahead and put some netting. That is 140 or 1/35 scale netting that you can get anywhere. Basically, I got this off of Amazon, and I did the green netting. Of course, they have different netting, snow or desert tan, whatever. But a lot of times, these turrets, they rust very frequently because they're made of different material. So when the weather hits them, cold and the snow and whatever kind of weather is going through, that particular metal rusts quite a bit. So a lot of times that will rust and it will stand out like a sore thumb. So a lot of times the military people will put in just netting around that just to kind of hide the rust a little bit. But overall, the thing turned out really good. I'm actually really happy how it turned out. There's some pictures on your screen of the display I made for it, which is like a diorama. We did it all muddy and stuff, and it looks so good. I'm really happy how it turned out. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think down below. And again, this is my first video or first major video on this channel. I did start this channel particularly for my military builds, because my main channel, N.Y.S modeling, that channel is mostly focused on cars, and most of my subscribers over there, or I should say 95%, or 99% of those subscribers are into car models. So that's why I started this channel for my military stuff, because those guys, you know, they're not really subscribed to that channel for military. And I figured make a start channel for this, and I hope it'll kick off. But alright guys, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and until next video, we'll catch you guys next time.
Just calling to say I